Welcome to the March 2nd, 2026 episode of Colonize the Ocean, the podcast. It is I, Brendon Traxler, your host, once again, this week, today, whenever you're listening to this. As you may know, if you've been following this, we've been in like a sort of a series talking about underwater tech and how that all interlinks with underwater habitats, and especially what ASC is trying to do. But I was laying in bed the other night, and I was petting the puppy dog laying next to me. And I got thinking, what happens when we're living underwater with man's best friend? Where are they going to go? What does that look like? And I got thinking a little more and more about that. I was like, so in a standard Airbnb, you may or may not be able to bring pets. Standard hotel, you may or not be able to bring pets. I don't know of any underwater habitat where people brought their pets. Until now. I think that's something that ASC needs to be thinking about. I don't know why I never have thought about it. But, when you look at like cats or birds or fish and smaller animals like that, chinchillas, hamsters, all that kind of stuff, all right, I get it. That would easily fit in there, even smaller dogs. But then you got thinking about bigger dogs, or dogs need exercise and you need to take them outside to go to the bathroom. All these different areas come into play. How do you make that commingle with living underwater? And you could say, well, I guess if you're living underwater, this is one of the things you're not going to be able to have. But that kind of goes against what ASC is working for, because the whole thing that I've been speaking about for years is ASC underwater habitats in general, moving forward, need to be designed to the point where grandma can come and visit. And if grandma can come visit, that means by golly, animals should be able to come visit or stay or whatever. And especially as we get looking down the road of people permanently living underwater at long terms, whether it's, a summer home, so you're there 3-6 months, you're going to want your animals with you. And also looking down the road, that does change the dynamic a little bit, because then you start getting into, more advanced habitats that have multiple pods. And one of the things, kind of on a side note here, but in the same vein, one of the things that, as long as I've been designing, especially the modular approach to underwater habitats, was I always had this idea of having a pod that was purely outside. It was just grass, real dirt, real grass, UV lighting. That's it. So you can just go in there, peace and quiet, hang out, have a picnic, take your shoes off, walk on grass. And that would coincide or work out as well with animals, because you could take your dog in there to let them run, go to the bathroom, whatever, clean it up, obviously. So that works down the road. But, short term, we got to figure that out. And I think that's one of the design elements that we need to look into and figure that out. Obviously, space is a concern at the beginning with these smaller underwater habitats, but I feel like man's best friend has to have a place in underwater habitats. And I'm curious on your thoughts on that. So to get your thoughts on that, head over to patreon.com/Atlantis Sea Colony, because we have a weekly poll on there every week. Totally free to sign up and take the poll. Don't charge anything. Now, you can sign up for some of the paid tiers on Patreon if you like what we're doing and want to support us. I gladly will accept that and would love that, but totally optional. But you can go over there and take the poll, which will come out at the same time as the release of this podcast. So if you're listening to this, watching this, whatever you're doing, the poll should be up as well. So guys, thank you for that. Thank you. I hope you have a great week. One little house cleaning thing I want to address real fast, if you're sticking around till the end here, that for some reason, I don't know why, I've been getting cyber attacked a lot recently. It's been going around, and it has just started to affect the business side of things. So currently, you may see some degraded content coming out because of all my meta stuff has been hacked or reported and banned or whatever, and don't want to get on the personal side of the whole thing. But needless to say, Instagram and Facebook are having issues at the moment, and I am working through them as we speak. So definitely, the podcast doesn't really necessarily get affected by that unless you were watching or listening on Facebook. But if you are curious about our socials and want to know more about us, wow, I can't even speak today. AtlantisSeaColony.com or ColonizeTheOcean.com both go to the same place. And all of our socials on there, website information, all that fun stuff. So go check that out. Go to Patreon. Go sign up. Go follow us. And let me know your thoughts on this topic.